One, how to make a very quick and easy flatbread, and secondly, how to make ghee. And then at the end, we're gonna put those two things together and make a delicious lunch or light meal. You're going to need 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, pinch of salt, or roughly a quarter of a teaspoon salt. Just mix that around a little. And we're going to add 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt. You don't want to use a vanilla yogurt, that wouldn't be nice. And we're just going to roughly mix this together. You could also make this with a chickpea flour if you wanted to ensure that it was gluten-free. That would work really well. And you could also add some other seasonings to this dough if you wanted, let's say, some cumin, something like that. You could add that in at this point as well. So I'm just going to get in here with my hands and get it into a ball, shape it into a ball, and then put it out onto the counter and knead it just for a couple of times, just incorporating all of these ingredients. So it's very easy, quick recipe. You can use these as a flatbread, as a tortilla, for a wrap or tacos, or just as an accompaniment to your meal, even a bowl of soup. Really good to heat up the next day. I can show you how to do that. And so yeah, just like that. That is it. So I'm just got a little extra flour here. Put some out on the board. And this is about 6 portions that we're going to make. And we're going to let it rest, but not long. It's not really necessary. But we'll just set it aside for about 5 or 10 minutes. And come back and roll them out and get ready to make our ghee. So our flatbreads are all rolled out, and now we're going to make our ghee. So we've got our 1 pound of unsalted butter in our saucepan on medium heat, and we're just going to melt this down. You don't want to stray too far away from this because you don't want it to burn. I can't see the bottom of the pan, and as it starts to separate, you'll notice as you pull away from the sides that you'll be able to see the bottom. So we are about 4.5 minutes in, and you can start to see the bubbles changing. They become quite small, they're starting to separate, and looks a little bit like the top of a sponge, loofah sponge. And you can see I'm not stirring it, I'm just kind of having a peek. Now we're about 6 minutes in, and you can see it's still relatively cloudy. What we're looking for is these milk solids to drop to the bottom, and you'll see the clear ghee through this film. So about 8 minutes in, you can see, I can almost see the bottom of the pan, and that's what we're aiming for here. Sort of see a bit of a clearer consistency and a slight browning of the butter. You'll notice too how the bubbles have changed again. They're quite a bit bigger and clear, not foamy like they were before. And you can see when I take my spoon now, most of those milk solids have fallen to the bottom. And that's been roughly around 12-13 minutes. So I've got a jar here, just a mason jar with some cheesecloth, and I'm going to strain this ghee off. You can see the brown caramelized bits at the bottom of the pan, and it smells amazing. Okay, so I've got my pan quite hot here, and I'm going to add about a teaspoon of my ghee. And I like to just take the tortilla, the flatbread, and just place it right in there. And you can see it doesn't take very long. And they start to puff up slightly. We'll get it browned on one side, and then we'll flip it over. And I've chopped up some cilantro quite fine, and I'm just sprinkling that on top for a little bit of extra flavor. Ooh, it's going to be so good. I discovered a wonderful recipe from Green Kitchen Stories, and it's a pistachio herb falafel, and I'm going to be making a lovely lunch with these wraps and the falafel. It'll be so good. There you have it. These flatbreads make a great lunch, and I've got here some pistachio falafels. This is a recipe from Green Kitchen Stories that I'll link in the show notes below. I'm going to just put some hummus here. I've got a tomato avocado salad. Just going to add some of that, just with a bit of fresh lime juice, some fresh greens, and here's my falafel. These are delicious. You've got to try this. I've got some preserved lemons and some pickled shallots. So how great does that look? Yum. And just roll it up. And there you go. You've got a beautiful, beautiful lunch. Thanks for joining me today. I hope I hear all about your flatbread adventures and what you're going to make. I really love this. So good. Delicious.